Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Victor, and today we're going to be talking about the Tech Launch Global Internship Accelerator. So, this is a program we run uh, at about 3-4 months period to help people get into tech or to switch into tech. So, today we're going to be considering quite a lot. We're going to talk about the internship program, the areas we're going to cover. We're going to talk about the benefits. We're going to talk about certifications you can get, skills you can get, how you can ensure that for tech, either physical, remote, or hybrid roles, you're able to attend to them, able to apply for them, able to get those roles. So, a few things I want to look at. I want to look at the very first item here. I want to look at the 4 months remote and hybrid career launch program for entry level tech professionals. Or if you're a professional, you want to actually switch, then this is for you. So, my name is Victor. I've been mentoring students, mentees for the past 10, 12, 15 years. I have a channel where I share quite a lot of courses on cloud, on IT, on networking, on data science, on marketing, on security, on monitoring and evaluation. Typically, tech. I help people get tech roles, help people translate it to tech. So I've done this for quite a while. So I have industry skill set. I also have certifications to validate those skill sets that I have. So if you check my credit profile, I have certifications in Security S, in A plus, in Google certifications, AWS certifications, certifications that validate the skills. Same thing with Cisco. Over the years, we're also a Cisco partner, a Google partner, AWS partner, and of course, what's it called? CompTIA partner. So this program is going to be an awesome program. So if you're looking for something that will help you within the next 16 weeks to fully translate it to tech, then this is for you. So this is going to be a program where you're going to have access to global premium skill-based learning system. One thing with learning is that you don't want to just learn here, there. You just want to be learning in a very disjointed form. And that's what you find most of the times when you come into the internet and you want to learn a particular skill. You don't have things that are actually thorough, things that are actually step by step. So that is why we created this program. And of course, that's why also for quite a while I've taken my time. You see, I have over 300 videos. Some of the videos that you have here are up to 500. So these are the ones that are public, right? So you see, you have systematic learning process. For CCST networking, for instance, you have about 21 lessons just for that particular course in a very structured manner. If you click on this particular playlist,
what's up guys, in this video
so you're going to see that you have a comprehensive playlist that attends to persons that want to do networking. Same thing for pen testing, same thing for web programming things, same thing for all of those other courses that you have there. So the approach is actually to ensure that you have a systematic process.
Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Victor and I'm going to be your anchor for today's training. So it's
okay, that will be
a new certification, is a new down.
That will be a video, yes, for the CCST training material. So you have a comprehensive playlist for all the courses that we offer. But what are we going to be doing different in this particular internship? So the internship is meant to give you hands-on skills. That's why most of the programs are going to be lab driven. We have over 300 to 400 labs for most of the courses, but we're going to compress them to around 50 for each track that we're going to be running in the internship. So some of the benefits is that at the end of the internship, you should have some kind of tailored CV for the kind of role that you are pursuing. You should have a LinkedIn profile that is also optimized. You should have portfolio. So these are some of the 5 items that can help you land any tech role, right? If you want to land a tech role, your CV, your optimized profile, your portfolio and projects. So your portfolio, if you can have a CV without portfolio and projects. right? If you have a CV that doesn't have portfolio and projects, then it's going to impact whether you're going to be taken serious or not. The another thing you want to do is to document your journey. So that's where having a Medium account, a GitHub account, for most students doing either cloud, you're doing data, you're doing whatever track that you're choosing, you want to prove to whoever that is going to engage you that you can actually deliver and that you have done this over time. So there's need for you to have a journal. So the program have incorporated a process whereby you can journal your entire learning. Then another thing you want to have is certification. So it's one thing to have skill set. There's another thing to also have certification. On the channel, I've been posting some remote jobs. You see that for most remote jobs, you're going to be told that you need skill set. Skill set is very important. So aside the skill set, you should also have a certification to validate that particular skill set. So this is one of the 5 things you're going to get, some of the 5 things you're going to get in the internship. So you have a tailored CV, you have optimized LinkedIn profile, you have portfolio and projects, you have a process to document your entire journey for the rest of the 4 months leading into your transiting to tech or landing this particular remote role. Then of course you have recommended certification and badges. So this is what badges and certification looks like. So this is also another one from Google. So we're also a Google partner. So for those of us that are going to be doing either cloud or data or software web, you're going to have access to Google Learning Platform so that you can have some badges that you can add to your LinkedIn profile to boost your chances. So we also have an alumni network where we share resources, we share content, and of course, access to remote job listing. So we look at remote job listing that are verified and we post them on the alumni network. So these are some of the 7 benefits that you're going to get in the program. So we are considering about 5 tracks: cybersecurity, data, software, digital marketing, content, then of course cloud engineering. So these are the 5 roles we are going to be looking at. And for each of the roles, we're going to be having what we call like the 4-5-in-1 series, where we pick most of the important areas in that particular niche and provide you with hands-on guide to concretize that particular knowledge. Take for instance, if you say you're doing cybersecurity, you're doing digital forensics, you're doing GRC, now you want to be able to fit into roles in that particular niche. So what is going to help you fit into that kind of role? You want to have understanding of what basic SOC is. You want to understand what the role of a security analyst is. You want to understand fundamentals in networking. You want to understand risks. Then you want to understand web scripting. So these 5-in-1 programs is what's going to make up this particular specialization. Like I said, all of this content, training resources, we already have them on the channel, right? So what we're going to be doing in the internship is to walk through the hands-on labs and go through you achieving most of these benefits. Now, if you check this lab document for cybersecurity, digital forensics, and GRC, you're going to see that you have about 50 labs, right? You have about 50 labs. The 50 lab is going to simulate real-world cybersecurity operations so that you can gain hands-on skill set. Now, we have about 400-500 of them, but for students that are fast enough, for students that can cope with going overboard, we can provide them with those resources. But for the program, we want to ensure that we have trashed quite a lot of these 50 hands-on for cybersecurity. So you're going to see that these are the skill sets that you want to achieve for the cybersecurity track. So the same thing applies for data. So we have the data science and machine learning track. So if that's what you're looking at, so the programs we're going to be looking for that is going to be the Google Data Analytics Professional, so or the Data Practitioner track. Then we have the Gen AI Leader. This is a Google certification. Then you want to do Python, machine learning. Then you want to understand how to use SPSS to run research, Excel to do analytics, SQL to query databases and SQL files, then Tableau, and of course Power BI. So the approach is going to be something like Excel. I mean, the flow is going to be something like Excel, Tableau, Power BI, SQL, then SPSS. So that's what is going to be the flow. So you're going to start from something very simple and you progress that way. So you're going to get skills in data collection, visualization, predictive modeling, then of course applied machine learning. So you're going to be getting access to some Google Skill Boost. So what is Google Skill Boost? So this is what Google Skill Boost looks like. Just a second. So Google Skill Boost. So Google Skill Boost is a learning platform that costs around $29 per month, right? Yes. So it costs around $29 per month, but you're going to be having access to this. So you have resources on AI, data, dev, infrastructure, productivity, security. So there are quite a lot of learning paths. So you're going to get access if you are doing any of these 5 tracks. If you are doing any of these 5 tracks, where are they? Yes, if you're doing any of these 5 tracks. If you're also doing digital marketing and content marketing, you need to also understand how to do analytics. So for students that are standing, they're going to get access to that particular program. So the next one is going to be software. So for software, we're going to be looking at basics in cloud. We're going to be looking at HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript. Then we're going to be looking at backend. So in doing backend, we're also going to consider CMS, because one of the most important things that most people need to understand if you are translating to tech is that most of the times what is going to help you get the job done for an entry level role, for your intermediate level role. So you want to have development skills, responsive design, database integration, front-end development. So these are the 5 projects that you're going to be working on. For each of these roles, for each of the tracks, we're going to have typically 5 projects and of course 50 labs. So if you see the very first one, for this one, you have 5 projects. For cybersecurity, you have 5 projects. So you want to be able to do network vulnerability assessment, you want to be able to do security policy documentation, do GRC implementation, you want to be able to do web app pen testing, vulnerability assessment, and like in one of our last batches, students were able to build a vulnerability assessment web application. You want to piggyback any API to create something that you can actually use to do vulnerability assessment. So for machine learning track, these are the 5 projects you're going to be working on. For web, these are the 5 projects you're going to be working on. So you want to be able to create a personal site, a corporate site, a database driven application, an e-commerce, a blog. Then you want to be able to deploy applications on GCP. So GCP is going to be our case study, Google Cloud Platform. This is what is going to be our deployment environment. Then for instance, for digital marketing virtual assistants, so these are going to be the 5 projects you're going to be working on. Then these are the assets that you're going to have. For cloud, for students that are going to be doing cloud, so you're going to be doing Google Digital Leader, AWS Solutions Architect Associate, GCP Cloud Engineer Associate. Then you want to be able to use Terraform, Linux, Docker, Kubernetes. Now, these are the learning tracks for this particular specialty. Then we have about 5 projects here. Multi-cloud infrastructure setup. You want to be able to do continuous integration, continuous development, pipeline with Terraform. You want to be able to build web applications in a containerized form. You want to be able to deploy serverless architecture. You want to be able to do cloud monitoring. If you have your application, if you have built anything in the cloud, how do you do monitoring? How do you check for different KPIs that you might be tracking? Now, for all the participants, this is very compulsory. As part of your learning, we are going to look at IT project management. So most people don't succeed deploying IT projects because they don't understand the principles. So you have about 2 standards. You have the PMI standard and you have the PRINCE2 standard. So we are going to be looking at the PMI standard as regards IT project management. Of course, I've talked about this, I've talked about this, I've talked about this, then I've also talked about this. So these are some of the items that is going to be delivered. You could pause the video and take them. I want to make sure that this video is short. Now we are going to have a schedule that is going to be 2 times live session for each track. Then we're going to have a program where you can have independent research, you can have group works. We're going to run that between Wednesday to Sunday. So 2 times a week, depending on the track that you're picking, we're going to have live classes. So these are some of the things you're going to be having. We're going to have trainer-led sessions, group collaborations, a program for you to be able to document all of your learnings, like I said, so that you can have something to prove your learning process. Then we're going to have a program where students are going to do assignments, of course, present whatever they've learned. Then, of course, they're going to work on those projects I talked about. There are about 5 of them per track. So we have physical offices within Nigeria. You have one in Gariki, one in Ikenegbu, in Owerri. We have in Port Harcourt, we have in Karo. So, but this is a purely remote session. So for students that enroll in our physical program, they're also going to have access to these remote sessions. For students that are running these remote sessions once a month, we hope to have them come physical for interaction, but this program is open to anybody from anywhere in the world. So it's a completely remote program. Now, if you're interested, you're going to have access to the WhatsApp group where we're going to release most of the information. So this video is about telling you the details about the program, the benefits of the program, explaining the different tracks that we're going to be considering. So we have curriculum for each of the tracks. So if you are inside the WhatsApp room for awareness group, you're going to have access to each of the curriculum for the tracks, typically all of the labs that we're going to look at. Thank you very much. If you have questions, you can also ask in the comment section. So the 5 tracks, we're going to hold them. For each track, we're going to hold 2 live sessions every week. Thank you very much and see you at the top.